This show is for entertainment purposes only, and any opinions stated herein are not to be considered the opinions of the Louis Scicli Show. All viewers are encouraged to research any and all topics to their satisfaction, and we thank you for listening.
Okay. Our little intro there. Our intro there is a little disclaimer that we have at the beginning of the show, and it was really created for another segment that we're doing down the rabbit hole, but I guess it'll work for every show we do.
I was like, what?
I played the button and Shawn was looking at me like, what is this? I never heard this before. So it is a little different. So, and again, it's just for another segment, but we're going to keep using it. Who cares? It works. Right?
We're not responsible for anything we say.
We never are. And we'll deny it if you ask us. Oh, I didn't say that. Well, I got you on video. Wasn't me. Even if you got my picture. So today, Shawn's back in with me, Shawn Phillips. I'm Louis Scicli, and we got another segment that we're doing, which is me and Shawn's segment. It's pretty much just talk about a little bit of everything: restaurants, movies, events, news. We kind of shied away from politics lately just because it's getting old. Sick of politics.
Yeah, I mean, it's more fun to talk about other things.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much more to talk about. But we did look ahead of time to see what's going on, like with local events and stuff, and not a whole lot going on with local events.
Yeah, with Christmas coming up this weekend, doesn't seem like a whole lot of activities.
No.
Everybody's done about what they're going to do. There is looking at lights. We talked about that.
And I do want to do that. I'd like to go before
tomorrow night. Or
we would have to, right?
Yeah.
Because if it ain't tomorrow night, we will
start taking them down, and we'll be out of luck.
Yeah. And I was asking him. I said, when we're going to have our parade down, our Christmas parade downtown in Lynchburg? And Shawn goes, we've already had it. And I was like, when? He goes, well, that was a while back, like towards Thanksgiving. I'm like, I didn't even hear about it. This is the second year in a row where I have not heard any news talking about it, nothing on Facebook popping up saying, hey, Lynchburg parade's going on at this time and this date or whatever. I don't know why they don't do that. To me, it doesn't make sense that they don't let more people know, because I would have went. I wanted to go.
Right.
So missed it again.
One problem we've noticed is there's no one place that you can go to and find a complete calendar of what's going on in the area. So two things we talked about before we started was, one, everybody in Lynchburg and the surrounding area needs to have one place that they can go to put their events.
Something that's easy to read, where you don't have to go through there and search for stuff.
Right.
Do it by dates, right? On the calendar, by dates.
And then filtered by subject. And
then we can go on there and say, hey, let's see what's going on this date, this date, this date. And then that way we won't miss it, because the parade probably would have been on there. And I would have been like, yeah, I'm going to go. It's that date. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So not this year. Missed it again.
We'll work on that.
I don't know if we're going to work on it. Are we going to make one?
I don't know.
We don't have enough time now to do anything, much less create an event calendar and try to manage it.
But yeah, there's a number of places you can go. We mention them off and on. LynchburgParksandRec.com/events is one of them. LynchburgVirginia.org, which is probably the one we go to the most. And then News in Advance. There's one called Everbright, and I know I'm giving these guys advertisement, but those are the places you can go to find out what's going on around Lynchburg. But it's all kind of hodgepodge and mishmash.
Yeah, and you're still going to hunt and peck through there, right? Everything I've seen you just looking at, we had to go to 15 screens to find out what's going on.
It would be nice if you could filter, hey, I want to go to a musical this weekend. You hit musical, and it has all the musicals, whether it's high school, college, or professional.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Fix it, somebody out there, so we don't have time. Okay, so Shawn came over this weekend to our house, and we had some spaghetti that I'd made previously.
From scratch.
From scratch. Everything, the sauce, and except the noodles. I didn't make the noodles fresh, but and don't tell me what I probably want to hear, but what did you think? I mean, was it decent?
I have to say, well,
it was up there. I mean, I think
it was actually fantastic.
Really?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say? Maybe an 8, 7, 8.
10?
Yeah, 10's perfect. I've never had a 10 spaghetti.
Yeah, I mean, it's 8, 9. It was very good.
Whoa,
yeah,
that's
was
awesome.
Outstanding. Had the right balance of sweetness and the
little
salty,
bit of heat.
Little bit of heat.
Well, you know where the heat came from, right? Don't say it, because Cindy would be mad.
Oh, I don't know where the heat
sausage
came from. Oh,
but she don't eat sausage. So she watches this podcast. I'm going to be hearing about it.
You're going to have to hit the button.
Beep, beep, beep,
Sausage.
beep. Sausage. But it was good because what I did is I went to YouTube and I typed in there a great spaghetti from scratch. And this guy's a chef, a real chef at a restaurant. And he's not one of these guys at home just make stuff. This guy works for a restaurant. And I looked at the recipe and I was like, man, that sounds interesting. And it was pretty cool because, I mean, there's a wine that you put in it and then you put a little sugar in it to kill something. He said it actually gets rid of the acidity in the sauce. And I thought it was really good.
It was. And actually, I'll tell you two things that tell you that it was really, really good. My wife does not like green peppers.
That's right. It had green peppers in it.
Green peppers in it, and she was eating it up. Of course, she was really hungry. She hadn't eaten all day. But the other thing was, it had, like you said, the heat to it.
It had a little heat.
And even with the heat, she said she was enough. It was enough heat that it wasn't overwhelming, but she could handle it. Yep. And then third, I'll add this. She has trouble with some heartburn from time to time, and it did not give her heartburn.
Really?
It settled just fine.
I was shocked because I thought that would give her heartburn. No. But you know what? I don't like green peppers either. And yes, there were green peppers in it because that's what the recipe called for. And garlic and, other things. But I did it exactly like the guy said to do it. And when I tasted it, I was like, man, this is really, really good.
The only problem I had with it was I couldn't eat more of it.
I know. I didn't want to stuff myself. Really fast. I only had one, but I had a pretty good helping.
But spaghetti does that.
It does.
It's very filling.
Yeah. And plus, you don't want to feel, after you're done, man, feel just sick and want to just like go sleep somewhere in the corner with a blanket, hibernate.
I was going to say, the position I'm in or the sweater I'm wearing makes me look like I've been eating tons and tons of food, which I have been.
That's the spaghetti you had that weekend, over the weekend. Okay, so after that, we all gathered downstairs to watch a movie. And we're flipping through, I guess it was was it Netflix where we watched it? Yeah, it was on Netflix, I think. Anyway, one of those streaming services. And I found one on there and I was reading it out and it was a law-abiding citizen. And Shawn had said, oh, I've never seen that. And I was like, what?
Gerard Butler. So we like Gerard Butler and we like Jamie Foxx.
Yeah. And Shawn had never seen it. And it's an older movie. 90, what was it? 97? What was it?
2009.
I mean, 2009. Okay, what I'm saying, 97. That's a little old. But anyway, I loved the movie when I watched it, and I've watched it like multiple times. When it's on, I'll sit there and watch it. It's one of those movies when it's on, you just watch it. But Shawn hadn't seen it, and Alicia hadn't seen it, and Sydney hadn't seen it either, she said. So I said, man, you guys got to watch this, and we put it on and watched it, and that movie is awesome.
It is. That was a great movie. Good action.
I mean, I know the guy. Yeah, the guy. I'm not going to tell everybody in case you haven't seen it, but let's just say he was very. How did he got him back? The person. So this man kills.
There's nothing you can say that you'd give it away.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away. All I can tell you, it's a good movie, and you really fight for the underdog, man, in that movie, right? I would say. So it got a little crazy, but it's an awesome movie. So anybody that has not seen Law Abiding Citizen, I recommend it very much.
It's kind of a justice theme.
Yeah, that's a good one. Justice. That'll
leave it vague enough.
Yeah. I mean, at the very end, you feel kind of, I don't want to give it away. I'm going to stop because it's a great movie. So
what's your favorite movie of all time?
One of my favorite movies, it's just because I'm into this, is Hunt for Red October. Have you seen it?
Movie. Yep.
Yeah, awesome movie. And Alec Baldwin actually played in it. And we got to talk about Alec Baldwin, man. It's not over with him. He might be in some big trouble. Did you hear about that?
I only saw bits and pieces. I haven't read it.
And this could be some weird thing and people putting out all this stuff, but someone said that the girl that he shot, the cinematographer lady that he shot, she didn't die like on the scene. She was actually awake and going to the hospital, and supposedly, and again, do your research, find out. Here's what I heard. They have Alec Baldwin calling her in the ambulance, and one of the guys actually gave her cell phone. It was ringing, and supposedly he said, don't say anything or you're going to be fired from this production. Not thinking the girl's going to die. He just thought maybe she got shot, and maybe they're going to go pull the bullet out and you'll be back to work 3 days later. Well, she died, so that takes care of that. But that's what was said. And then also recently they just subpoenaed his cell phone, like to go confiscate his cell phone. Maybe something to it. I don't know. If it is something to it, he may be in some trouble. because again, the gun he was using, and I don't know how we got off on this, but let me just finish it up. A revolver. They had an older revolver, right?
Right.
And anybody knows, if you know anything about, even a little bit about a gun, you can pull the hammer back on a revolver halfway and just let the hammer go without pulling the trigger. It's going to fire. That's why you'll see those guys, a lot of times they'll sit there and they'll go like this and just hit the thing and click it. Well, it's the hammer's going to make the bullet go off. So he kept saying, I didn't pull the trigger, I didn't never pull the trigger, but it went off. Well, it went off when you pulled the hammer back and let the hammer go. And I have a revolver that I carry sometimes concealed, and I was showing this guy at work. Obviously, I had the chamber open, no bullets in it, showed him, didn't point it at him, but just showed him how you can pull the hammer halfway back and let it go every time. It doesn't lock until you get it way far back. But it will still, it'd make a round go off,
sure.
And that's what he did. So, I don't know. I just think that whole thing is hokey. I mean, first off, I would never take a gun from anybody and point it at anybody, even if it wasn't loaded. You never point any gun at a person, loaded or not loaded. You just don't. That's what you don't do. Matter of fact, if someone pointed a gun at me, even if it wasn't loaded, I'd be mad, man. I'd be like, "What are you, idiot?"
So how do they film those shots where they're shooting a gun at somebody?
They don't point it directly at them. It's fired, but like if you got a cinematographer in front of you, you're pointing it off to the side of the cinematographer and you're firing it.
Okay.
Not directly at the cinematographer.
So a gun's never pointed at a person on a set?
It's not supposed to be, I wouldn't think. I mean, that's just part of knowing how to handle a gun.
I mean, in today's technology, you would think they would weld all the...
they don't need them on. They don't need live
they could
guns.
use just
You could
sounds.
sit there and go like this, like that. And they can actually edit it to where fire comes out the end of the gun and it has the noise, but you don't have a real gun there shooting people.
It'd be like a Chinese film.
Yeah, it's late delay. Or when they're talking, they're like, yeah, and then they start talking. Yeah. But no, they got all the technology they got now. They don't need live. Obviously, right now, I don't know if they're ever going to have guns on sets anymore. They shouldn't. I mean, it only
How
takes
did they
one.
shoot that Seals movie?
I don't know. Did they show it pointing right at the person?
No, most of the time it was just shooting back behind the gun. Or, the camera behind the gun.
Yeah. I mean, it's just when you own a gun, you know not to point it at anybody,
Number
whether it's
one
loaded or
rule.
not. Well, number one rule.
Number one rule.
And the other one was always assume the gun's loaded.
Yeah.
Always assume a gun's loaded, even if it's not loaded. But I don't know. I think he's in trouble. I think he might get some real trouble over this. Right. Some type of charge. And if that phone shows that he called her and said something like that, my God, man.
Well, he's had plenty of other phone episodes that showed him to be unsavory individual.
Yeah, a little on the wild side. And we're being nice. Yeah. There's a few of those actors, man. You hear some of these actors when they're on set and somebody's in the background recording them when they're going off and screaming and yelling.
You shared a clip with Tom Cruise on.
Tom Cruise, man. I tell you what, Tom Cruise or no Tom Cruise, if somebody talked to me like that on the set or no set, I'd be like, screw my contract, and I'd punch him right in the nose, man. And then get sued, obviously.
I mean, you'd never get a manager talking like that.
Huh?
You wouldn't get a manager talking like that. You'd sue him.
Yeah. I mean, he's done it. There's many other actors that get on there and they start screaming and yelling at people. Yeah. I wouldn't.
They live in another world.
They do. They think they're above everything, and they're not. They're just human beings with great jobs, with great pay, and they act like everybody else has been beneath them. Not all actors are like that,
right,
but a lot of them are like that. And you better be humbled, man. You're lucky you're getting the kind of money you're getting per movie.
I think Matthew McConaughey's probably one that's decent that they've talked about recently that seems like on the level.
And Keanu Reeves.
Yep.
Everyone says it. Let me tell you, Keanu Reeves got some money. He has money, and he's got the fame, and, he's a great actor. Look how he treats people. And everybody says he treats them really, really good.
He helped somebody change a tire, didn't he? He stopped on the side of the road.
That's the way it's supposed to be. Don't get in there and be some celebrity and think your crap don't stink, because it does. And just because you got a bigger bank account than most people, money comes and goes, man. I know a lot of, I don't know them, but I know of a lot of people that had a lot of money at one time, and now they're broke ass poor because they didn't know how to manage their, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Right.
What? Am I doing something wrong?
Right.
Broke ass poor because they don't know how to manage their money, and they think that the money's going to keep coming in, and they just spend it crazy. So So anyway, let's move on to another thing because I'm going to get wound up
So
on that
favorite
one too.
movie?
Favorite movie? Yeah, what's
Yeah, I
yours?
had to sit here and think for a little while. So while you were talking, I was trying to figure out. This one is kind of a cult favorite for a lot of people, and I'm a big sci-fi fan. So
Oh my God, is this going to be something
like-
we've never heard of? Or is this
no.
okay.
This is from 1997. I had to pull it up so I could get my
Star
information.
Wars.
It's a Bruce Willis movie.
What?
Mila Jovovich, and it's actually Chris Tucker's in this one, which I've already said a few names. Somebody who's watching this or listened to it knows I'm talking about The Fifth Element.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, Fifth Element.
Yeah, it's a cult favorite.
It
of
is,
a
yeah.
lot of sci-fi people, and it's got humor and action, and I mean Chris Tucker just can't get much.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time.
And so yeah, that's one. I turn it on, and Alicia leaves the room.
You know another. Yeah. That's what's that comedian? I mean, I should know his name because he's in a ton of movies. He was just in a movie with The Rock. He was on the movie Jungle, Jumanji.
Robin Williams.
No. The latest one. Chris Rock was in it. Jack Black. Chris, I think his name is Chris. He's a well-known
Yeah,
comedian.
the guy that's about my height.
Yeah.
I might be taller than him.
What's his name?
I was trying to think of his name the other night. Actually, last night.
God, I
Because
can't
he was
believe
the rabbit on that cartoon that pooped the little rabbit turds out.
I cannot believe he went blank. But he's real. Yeah, look it up and see because he is real well known. He's
And
on
everybody's
TV.
screaming at the screen and telling us his name.
I know. And look, when we hear it, we're going to like, how did we forget that? It's not Chris Rock because we just mentioned Chris Rock.
No, Chris Tucker's who
Chris Tucker.
and it's not Chris Rock. He's
No.
the other one that.
I mean, all these guys are funny, but this guy, he's a trip because he's in a lot of movies, and he seems like he gets along with everybody. Just jokes around all the time, and they have a good time. It looks like on the set, he don't fight with anybody or.
Kevin Hart.
That's it, Kevin.
See, we were thinking Chris.
No, Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
And I'm
he's
sorry, Kevin Hart, that
hilarious.
we forgot your name.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him on a lot of YouTube stuff, and then when the new movie comes out, they're promoting it. Ice Cube was just on with him on the movie Ride Along. Well, this is a while back,
Yeah.
but when they go out and promote these movies, they go to all these different TV shows and stuff. But he's funny, man. He's a funny guy, and it just seems like a guy you can get along with. And I've literally never heard anybody say anything bad about him. They've all said all good things and joke with him and stuff like that. So it's good to know. And he's young, so he's not. You know, most of your younger actors are the ones that have the issues of "I'm better than you" type of thing. But
Right.
he's not. He don't act that way.
Nope.
I did hear him say on one of the shows that Will. God, I'm going
Ferrell?
blank. Will Ferrell. They were on a movie together and they were talking. He said, yeah, Will Ferrell's cheap. He don't spend money on nothing. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Then he'll have money the rest of his life. You know, he's not going to blow through his money in 3 or 4 years and not do a movie and then all of a sudden have to go bankrupt. You know, a lot of those, I'm not no finance guy by any means, but I know one thing. If you make all that money, first off, pay the taxes. You got to pay your taxes. That's where they get in trouble, all these guys do. They don't pay taxes, and they're making millions and millions of dollars. Let me tell you something. The IRS, if you're making millions and millions of dollars, they want theirs, especially if you're making that kind of money. You know what I mean? So pay the taxes. Wesley Snipes was one of them.
Right.
There's been 4 or 5 of them that for some reason they feel like don't need to pay taxes, and guess what? You do, just like everyone else does,
Right.
except it don't hurt you like it hurts us. But pay them because look what happens.
Yeah, somebody told me one time, I love paying taxes. I was like, what? He said, yeah, I love paying taxes because that means I made a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, okay.
Yeah, making a lot of money. I mean, they're paying millions and millions of dollars.
Right.
But again, the smart actors and just like the musicians, you better bank that money or do something with that money smart because it ain't gonna last forever. You're not getting any younger, and sooner or later your work will slow down, or maybe stop, or just dry up a little bit. And you know you're gonna be when they're trying to buy $20 million homes. I mean, come on, man. You know why do they need $20 million homes? I wouldn't buy if I was multi-millionaire or billionaire.
Beach house.
I'd buy a beach house. But it wouldn't be a $20 million beach house. It might be a $2 or $3 million beach house because that's probably what they normally cost.
Yeah.
But I mean, they get in there and they start spending this money like it's free, and they're always going to keep getting it, and they're not.
Right.
Especially when you're buying $20 million homes and Lamborghinis and Ferraris, whatever, man. all those things, they go away. You better put the money in the bank and hold on to it.
So what's your favorite comedy movie?
Favorite comedy movie?
Because I'll add while you're thinking, Robin Williams is actually probably one of my all-time favorites.
Oh yeah, he's one of my favorite actors. But I mean, as far as comedy movie, there's a movie I always watch it when it's on TV. It's Matthew McConaughey. Is that how I pronounce it?
Yeah.
McConaughey, and then I forgot what her name was. She's a Hudson. But anyway, it's called Fool's Gold.
Okay.
What's the actress's name that was on Overboard? It's her daughter. Remember?
Yeah, I know. Kate Hudson?
Kate Hudson's. Yeah. Is that her? What's her daughter? Is that her daughter? That's Kate? What's her mom's name?
Kate Hudson that played with Matthew.
That's her. Yeah, that's her. Okay. Yeah. I don't remember all their names.
So her mother's Goldie Hawn.
That's it. Awesome movie, though. What's funny, man? I'm forgetting. It's a long day, man. It's like 5:30 at night. I've been working all day. Did a podcast this morning.
Yeah, but Mrs. Doubtfire is one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a classic. Yeah. I like all the Medea movies.
Yep.
All of them. Every one of them. Because they always have a good story to them. I mean, everything that he's done, it's got a good plot, like a good story to it.
Yeah.
But what else we get? What else we're going to, besides movies, restaurants?
Well, we went for a walk on Saturday.
Yeah. Went to go ahead and tell them. We went to the museum.
Yep.
I'd wait a little bit before you go just because they're remodeling it. I didn't want to bring it up now because the whole top floor is shut down right at the moment.
Yeah, they're remodeling for a new venue up there.
Which is going to be great when it's finished. But we did go down there to check it out, and I was it was neat.
It was. And I had a little neat episode. I walk in,
I remember that,
the lady who was sitting there behind the desk and another gentleman, and she gets up and she asks us a few questions, and I was puzzled because she looked real familiar, and I was thinking, who in the world is this? I know that face. And so I got to asking her. I said, you look really familiar. I said, what's your last name? And so she gave me her last name, and it didn't ring a bell. And she said, well, I was a teacher at Lincoln for 20 years. And I said, well, I was at Lincoln starting my 7th grade year. And she said, well, I would have been known as Whitehead back then, Mrs. Whitehead. And I said, yes. So
that was your teacher, yeah.
7th grade math teacher.
Isn't that cool?
And so if Mrs. Whitehead, which I know you're not Mrs. Whitehead now, Kathy's your first name.
Yeah.
We did enjoy the museum.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was
awesome.
really neat reacquainting with you.
I got a story, too, from a teacher that Joe went to do some work on this high school teacher's house. My friend Joe does tub work, like remodels tubs and fixes them and stuff like that. So he calls me up and he says, hey, Louis, I'm over here to, I forget what his name was now, but he was a teacher at school at Dunbar Middle School. And he was the gym teacher. And he told me his name, and I said, oh, I know him. I know that gym teacher. And I said, I remember back in the day, we were playing dodgeball in the what do they call it? Gymnasium.
Yep.
And this kid, he blows the whistle for everyone to stop throwing the balls. And this one kid throws the ball after he blew the whistle, and it hits me right in the face, man. And it's these rubber balls. You remember those red ones, rubber balls?
Yeah.
They sting like crap, man. So when he hit me in the face with it, I was pissed. So I went for him. I went for the kid. I'm like, I'm going to whip your butt now, man. So I go on him. I get a hold of this guy, and it was only like 2 seconds I had a hold of him by his shirt. I was dragging him around. And the next thing I know, I'm being jacked up in the air, held up in the air. And I'm like, what's going on? Why are you grabbing me? And it was the coach that grabbed me off of him. I said, why are you grabbing me and not him? He goes, because you were the aggressor. And I remember that. So Joe went to work on this guy's house, and I said, put him on the phone. So the guy gets on the phone. I said, do you remember me? He goes, I think I do. And I told him that incident. He goes, I remember that incident. And he goes, and I remember what you said to me. I said, what did I say? And he says, you asked me why I lifted you off the ground and jerked you away from the kid. And I said, and I told you, and you told me that I was the aggressor. The guy remembered that,
That's
man.
That's fantastic.
I mean, we're talking,
yeah.
How old are you in middle school? I was like 14 years old.
50, 60 years ago.
A long time ago. But anyway, it was pretty cool. And he ended up being the principal of Dunbar after that, many years. But he had just retired from teaching.
You remember his name?
I forgot. Again, I'd know it. If you would ask me today, I would have known it. But anyway, he was a good coach, man. All of my teachers were pretty good back in the day.
Yeah.
I I mean, there's a few of them that I really didn't care for, but they were good.
So we stepped out of the museum, and we went down onto Monument Terrace, and we're sitting there thinking about some things. And I was asking Louis if he had ever been down to Mrs. Joy's. And he said no. And I said, well, you want to drive down? And he says, no, let's walk. So we walked down the steps on 9th Street.
And tell them what Mrs. Joy's is.
So Mrs. Joy's is a fantastic bakery downtown.
Most definitely.
So Louis had not ever been there before, and my family's been there numbers of times. And cinnamon rolls, donuts, cupcakes.
Oh, they got it all.
Just
fresh.
Really, really good. So off we go. We walk down 9th Street, get down to, I think it's Commerce, and hang a right. Go past my dog Duke's and on down, and she's on the left, the yellow storefront. Yep. We go in there.
And we're walking, by the way.
Yep, walking. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, beautiful day.
66 degrees.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah.
So he gets in there, and he's like, what is that? I said, dude, that's their cinnamon roll.
That thing was huge,
I'm
man.
not joking. So,
easy.
12.
It was
8 inches, 12 inches across, or something like that.
It was huge, and I looked and I was like, "Oh my god!"
And it was red velvet cinnamon.
Yes,
yeah,
that's the one I got.
So
I still haven't tried the other one, but I have to try it.
And I got an apple fritter, and the apple fritters are as big as your head. They're just fantastic.
And the prices weren't bad because
fresh baked.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that place is all of it. Yeah. So definitely, if you
haven't been to Mrs. Joy's, took the words right out of your mouth.
Did you know Benny's, by the way, was a franchise, the pizza? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've looked up on the wall, and it has different locations up there.
And the reason why I found out is Raven, the girl that she has some tattoos, real pretty girl, real great personality. She used to work at Paul's on Wardrobe. Well, she worked at Paul's before she went to Benny's on Wardrobe, which is because I get my saltwater fish stuff from there, right?
Okay.
So I go in there Saturday, and Raven was there. And I say, hey, what are you doing? Are you working both places? She goes, no, I left Benny's. I'm back here again. And she was telling me that it was a franchise, and I never knew that. I didn't know it was a franchise.
Yeah, I don't know how many they have, but up on the wall, they've got their different locations and stuff like that.
I wonder what they charge for a franchise. I mean, the pizzas are freaking huge. Like I said, the pizza, they only have one size pizza. It's the size of a car hood.
Most people could only eat one piece.
Yeah, that's true because it's like probably 3 regular size pizzas, right? Pieces.
What are we doing for dinner afterwards?
I know, man. I'm getting hungry. But no, that's I just want to throw it out there because Raven's a great person. I mean, she's a really nice girl, very knowledgeable, real down to earth, and she's always been very helpful with me when I go to Paul's to buy stuff. And when I seen her down at Benny's that time, I was shocked that she left Paul's, but she's back there again. So anyway,
so we left Mrs. Joyce. We didn't eat there, so we just grabbed our stuff and left. And we walked up around the corner to the market, and the market was slammed,
packed.
Yep. I mean, they had people out there, traffic
playing guitar. It's got one guy had his set up playing guitar and live traffic music everywhere, and people. It's good to see people getting back out again.
Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. So. We say all this to encourage you. If you haven't been downtown, spend some time downtown. It's a great place to just, if you do nothing more than walking around the streets. It's fun. And then you go there on a
good exercise,
looking for good food. There's plenty of places to go eat.
Tons of places, and really good food down there.
I haven't been to the Academy of Fine Arts yet.
No, I haven't either.
I know they've got plenty of great things going on there too, but sooner or later we'll have to visit that.
Most definitely.
No. Trying to think, is there anything else? Well, they got the walking trails and all that down there.
Yeah. You said you had a joke. Did you remember which one you were going to?
Oh, I got to read it. No.
Oh, you so you don't have it off the top of your head. You got to read the joke.
Yeah, like last time I read it.
I didn't know that. I thought that was one of yours.
That's how good
I don't even know if I told Cindy my joke and she heard it on the podcast. She didn't get it at first.
That's okay.
So hopefully everybody else got it.
The guy didn't want to get bit.
Yeah, he didn't want to get bit, so he told the man to shoot the dog. If I fall on the ground, shoot that dog. Yeah, that's exactly right. But yeah, she didn't get it, I guess, until I told her, and then she started laughing. So hopefully everyone else got it. So is it a good one?
No, it's just corny, like most of my jokes. So.
Okay.
So
it's not your joke.
It's somebody else's
This is a corny joke.
By Laugh Gaff was the place that I found it. So it says, I never remember what people tell me at New Year's parties because it goes in one year and out the other.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah,
It's terrible.
at least it's a clean joke. I mean,
Right.
because I've read some jokes I couldn't even tell it on a podcast, man. Then we definitely would get flagged down.
Yep. And why can't drummers come back from retirement?
Why?
Because there will be repercussions.
Oh, gosh. Oh, let me let everyone know. I told you all on the other podcast we did, the rabbit hole with Ann Parker today, but Facebook evidently has either banned me, knocked me off, done something. I can't access my other Facebook pages, including the Lynchburg Treasure Hunt group page. I still have some access to where I can go on and post stuff just like everybody else could, I guess, on the Louis Scicli Show page for Facebook. But my regular Facebook page and the Lynchburg Treasure Hunt group page are gone. Can't get to them. Don't know how to get to them. And we had a lot of members on those. So I had to create another page. Wouldn't even let me create another page under Louis Scicli. So I actually had to go back to my real name, which is Louis, Louie, Scicli, Scicli. And I created another Facebook page. So everybody that's listening to this, go on there and friend me. And I'm going to post all of the clues and all of our videos, like the one you're watching now, on that page. I'm going to have one page for everything instead of me having 3 or 4 pages. Maybe they didn't want to give me that many pages and said, you know, this guy's really taking advantage of this. Let's just, I don't know why. They probably just said, he's getting,
I mean, they put advertisement on your pages, so they're making money off of every page.
But evidently something went haywire. Until I get it fixed, if it even does, they do get it fixed, go on there and join that page for now, the Louis Scicli Facebook page for right now, so you can get the clues to the treasure hunt that's going on now. No one's found it yet, by the way. And I'm going to try to put a post tomorrow on there. I know I've been saying it for the last couple of days, but I'm trying to get all the stuff straight. So I'll go on there and put a clue post for the treasure hunt.
Yeah, the Facebook thing's been driving him nuts.
Absolutely.
He's been spending tons of time trying
a
to
lot.
figure it out.
And I keep looking at this going, what could have caused it? And I think I may know what it is, but I don't know for sure. It wasn't nothing bad. It's just when we do these videos, if they don't like certain things they hear about the vaccine or mask or something like that, I got a feeling that they just basically say, oh, you want to talk about that? Delete. You know, and it's like not fair because you would think we have freedom of speech, but evidently we don't because they're monitoring things, I think, and that's the only thing I can think of. Nothing else has been going on with it but that.
An algorithm took you down.
Had to have been. So anyway, everyone, I just want to let you know what's going on with that. So the treasure hunt's still going on. Go to my regular Facebook page I just created. I got like 40 friends now. I had like
2,000.
Yeah. And now all of them, they're gone. They're probably like, where happened to the treasure hunt? What happened to Louis? Where did this go? Where did that go? Well, now you know where it went. So everybody, please pass it along, by the way. Let everybody know what's going on that you know so people don't think that I'm just missing in action. Still around, just don't have that Facebook page no more.
Yeah. And it is colder, but get out and about.
Yeah.
Do things, spend money locally. Tell your police and sheriff thank you when you see them.
Military.
Your firemen,
all first
EMTs,
responders.
yes, all those guys.
We care about all you guys, and we know how important you are to us, and we thank you for all that you do. And you got anything else you want to hit on?
Nope. We say Merry Christmas here.
Yes. Merry Christmas, everyone. So hopefully everyone has a good, safe Christmas, and we'll be back next week after Christmas. So you're good?
I'm good.
All right, everyone, have fun. Thank you, and thanks for listening in.